All right, everybody, good morning. So I was thinking, I'm a person who has triggers. Maybe you have a trigger. So what happens when I get triggered is like a switch flips. I'm not thinking rationally, I could be, vibrating highly 1 second and someone will say that perfect thing and I'll just immediately get lowered. You know what I mean? It's a trigger. And so I've been thinking about it, and there's something that's been bringing me back from it lately. There's a phrase that when I think of it, it snaps me back out of it, back to normal, how I want to be, And for me, that phrase is Earth School. Whenever I tell that to myself, it brings me back. Like if something's going on that's, upsetting me, lowering my vibration or whatever, I just remember, wait a second. We in Earth School, we're here to learn, and this situation or whatever, it's teaching me something. It's saying, hey, how do you handle this situation? And so it snaps me back out of it, and I'm, I become this again, But I think it's important that I recognize that. It's like I realize that. It's like, hey, that's like the secret. If I could just remember Earth School, for me, that's my thing, that'll help me, not carry out a trigger. Because here's the thing. When that happens, you're kind of at a crossroads, like how you're going to handle that. Now, I tell myself every morning, one of my affirmations is, I stop and listen to reason before I react. This helps me not be such an explosive person if something triggers me, you know what I mean? And so that helps too, just programming myself to stop when I'm triggered and, stop, pause, listen to reason. So for me, just thinking that phrase Earth School helps me listen to reason again. It's like, oh, wait a second. Okay, everything's fine. This is all part of the plan. This is a test to see how you handle it. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. And then I handle it better. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna take that personal. They didn't mean it. Oh, that's a trigger of mine. That's something I'm working towards. You know what? It doesn't really matter. That's corny. You don't get upset at that sort of thing anymore. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's kind of like the phrase that grounds me again. I'll be, going about my day, and then bam, something happens, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and then I remember, oh wait, I'm in Earth School. Stuff's gonna happen, and it's fine. This is it's my chance to learn. So, I'm very glad that I recognize that for myself. I literally, I've been doing it subconsciously, bringing myself back, Earth School. And then I really connected with it yesterday. That's my phrase. It works every time. It works every single time for me personally. You could use it too. Maybe it'll work for you. But it's been working very well for me. Earth School, because that's what this, in my opinion, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me because, we are here to learn. We get not bad, but difficult situations where we have to, work through it. That's part of life, and that's how we grow, right? Like, imagine you lived a life where nothing ever happened and the only issues you ever had were maybe you get sick once in a while, but no one ever bothered you, and, money's not a problem, or, imagine that. That's the problem. You can't grow from that. And in my opinion, in the Bible, when it says it's harder for a rich man to get to heaven than a camel to go through the eye of the needle, what that means to me is that if you're abundantly wealthy with, monetary wealth, you might not be wanting to work on this, because you think you got your bases all covered. But I mean, you know as well as I do that money doesn't bring happiness. It brings comfort, which is great. But like, it's very possible to have a whole lot of money and not be a happy person. You know, we all know this. So it's all the it's all the mindset. It's this is how you feel happy. And it's, remember, you're not waiting for something to happen. You could have it now as is. You know, because if you're always waiting for that thing to make you happy, you're just not going to be happy often. You know what? You're only going to be happy when the weekend comes. You're only going to be happy when you have a day off. No, happy right here, right now, every day, all day, you know? And it's not like happy necessarily, but it's like, it's a vibrational thing, you know, vibrate high, vibrate higher. You know, so that your baseline is pretty high, and when something knocks you down, you go here. It's not like your baseline's here and then you go down to the floor. You know what I'm saying? This is all about, you know, on the regular, just vibrating higher. Ooh, it's a little rabbit. Vibrating higher. I'm gonna connect with you, little bunny. Hi. Hi. Where is it? You see it? It's a little guy. He's just chilling with me. Yeah, we're just gonna vibe with the bunny. Oh, goodbye. Anyways, so yeah, I found something that brings me back from a trigger. And for me, that is huge, because when I'm triggered, that's when I get into a lot of trouble. You know, my mouth will go off. I'll say something I regret. So it's so important. It's so great that I found that. Earth School. We're in Earth School. You know, I say you really think about, you know, brainstorm, say, okay, when I'm feeling this way, what could bring me back? I have a horrible storm right now. A storm has been brewing. I'm in the middle of it. Crazy stuff is going on, you know. I'm getting divorced. We got to move immediately. We're getting evicted. I was just in a bad accident, you know, you name it. What can bring you back so you could, you know, be as good as you can, be as vibrationally high as you can, considering the circumstance. Like, obviously, when really tough things are going on, you're not going to be like, oh, that doesn't matter, everything's fine. Nah, we're still realistic here. You know what I mean? But it's how can you handle these situations in the best possible way, you know? Life happens. Earth School happens. That's the thing, you know. I will enjoy this day of Earth School and whatever it brings. That doesn't mean I'm going to enjoy this day of Earth School because it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows. No, I might get tested, and I'm going to enjoy that test because that's how I grow. And also, things might be really great. It might just be a super smooth day, and I'm going to be thankful for that because that's awesome too. It's whatever Earth School brings. And for me, that's what brings me back. That's what keeps me up in the first place. You know, I say it every morning, and it's what brings me back after I get triggered. So find what works for you specifically. For me, over here, it's Earth School, because that's what this is all about. Learning. And as my brother put it in that skit we did, life is about learning, and life is about growing, and or whatever he said. Go watch that skit. I'll link it. It's gonna be right here or right over there. I don't know. But anyway, subscribe, watch that video. I'm gonna go have the best day ever at work. I just did pull-ups at the park, which is dope. So, all right, guys, I love you very much. If I could change, you could change. If I could be happy, you could be happy. All right, love you guys. Bye.